we should talk about World of Lemming Land.
World of Lemming Land?
Tazavesh Gear.
Oh, yes.
Because I definitely have got to push back against some of what people said and also just talk through this whole situation.
Yep.
That's right.
Don't worry.
Here's what you need to know. Tazavesh Gear, when PTR came out, Tazavesh Gear was upgradable.
Yep.
Some have said... So, it was upgradable in PTR. So we thought that was intended. Mm-hmm. Because, how do you fucking know anything when Blizzard don't actually tell you what the hell's going on in PTR? Because they don't communicate. But it was there. The gear was upgradable in PTR. We thought that was in the intended design. Because, Valor points are now a thing in the game. Valor points were not a thing in the game when past Mega Dungeons came out. That means that where past Mega Dungeons fit into the overall dungeoneering system is completely fucking irrelevant because the gearing system is different now. So, all of these people who are like... Oh, all of these stupid reactionary people being so angry about this. How could you not? You're like, no. Gearing's different now. Yeah. So, gearing's different now, and it was upgradable initially on PTR. What are you smoking? What are you fucking smoking?
What are you taking, like?
Like, use your fucking brain, please.
Can I have some of that for this evening, like?
Yeah, goddamn, I mean. So, the thing there is people, and this is the thing. You can engage in bad faith and try to gotcha people, or you can try to think about, why would someone have that reaction? Why would somebody be excited that Valor Point upgrades are a thing? Oh, because there's a new bit of content. They can get gear from that, and they will feel like that's gear that can be useful to them over time. Happy, happy, happy. Yep. Does it matter that the item level is 210 initially in the older version on PTR when it was upgradable? Not massively. Because, I mean, even when I saw that, I assumed that there would be a hard mode for this, because I believe Blizzard had mentioned it, and that would have higher base level gear that, of course, would be upgradable as well. So it all just seemed to be decently reasonable. But what Blizzard have done is they've made it so the Tazavesh Gear is no longer upgradable with Valor. However, its base item level is 226, which is the equivalent of normal rating, and is just below the maximum upgrade item level from the Korthia open world content, though that will involve a currency and rep grind. So basically, Tazavesh drops Mythic +7 gear.
Yeah.
I imagine it will be harder than Mythic +7.
Tuning wise, no.
Okay.
Mechanically, very likely.
Well, that's what I mean, yeah.
But I'm not sure if that's because Tazavesh mechanics are hard or if they're like puzzly in nature. Because I feel like there'll be a lot of how do I put this? Remember all of the mini games and world quests in Najtar? The ones where certain community members who are maybe not having the biggest brain of day were struggling with what seemed like simple logic puzzles.
Where we get to see mythic raiders fail at basic logic puzzles. That was so goddamn funny.
Yep. So I think there will be a lot of traffic to Wohead for guides on how to actually start boss fights in Tazavesh, as opposed to actually fight them themselves.
Gotcha.
So that might be a little bit of a barrier, but oh dear God. But yeah, no.
Yeah, so that's basically the situation here. And why people were excited is they thought that, doing Tazavesh will actually stand to my character over time. It won't feel like just catch-up gear. Yeah. But now the thing is, if you're a normal raider, if you do dungeons past Mythic +7, which I imagine the whole Mythic Plus community gets to pretty quickly, and PvP people will out-level that item level pretty damn quick too, well then Tazavesh is not particularly relevant to you. So there's people saying like, oh great, but now I can catch up my alts in Tazavesh. And I'm just sitting here thinking, how much copium are you people snorting or huffing or whatever? Because this is one of the biggest new features of the new patch. We should not think that it's catch-up.
It's alt catch-up, it's fine.
It's not alt catch-up. This should be proper content, like, for your main. And then all the people go, oh yeah, but in patch 9.2 it'll be split up for the Mythic Plus system. Fuck off! It's now! The patch is out now!
Oh,
it's content in the patch now!
Oh boy. Yeah, I completely agree.
What are those absolute lemmings thinking? Thinking that like, they'll split it up in the next patch makes it not being super relevant in the current patch a good thing.
Yeah, good. Time to get your dungeons for a whole patch. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Yeah, there's a thing that we call mental gymnastics. And there are some of the super salty people who are, I think... quite good at the old gymnastics.
Yeah, it's brutal the fact that people... I mean, the problem I have with it all is kind of what I have written down here, which is don't let being stuck in the past hamper creative problem solving.
Yeah.
That's it. It's like, well, was this way in the past? You're like, yeah, but what about the future? Don't learn from the past. Don't live in it.
Have you decided that your whole thing is to do but the past and be a stick in the mud forever as a way of shutting down fucking productive conversations about how to make things better?
Yeah, it's just...
It was just some of the comments that I saw on like the Wowhead article and stuff. I'm like, man, come on, please use your brain, please.
It's brutal.
Please think about what would be the best for World of Warcraft, because that's what we all want.
Yeah, we spent so much time. And energy like fighting about it or fighting over it with each other. It's like the actual constructive part of feedback on the PTR is completely lost under this absolute mountain of noise.
Yeah. Plus, see all this noise created by Blizzard. Because at no point did they tell us, this is Tazavesh, it's the new mega dungeon, and this is how we are going to do it. Because they didn't communicate.
Yeah.
It's just like, if you don't want to do a PTR, don't do a PTR. Simple as that.
Also, that's a running theme for the rest of this news, by the way. Blizzard's communication.
Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, what does this mean for us personally? We are heroic raiders. We'll probably blast through normal on, release week or something like that, as we do for a bit of fun. I know it's the sort of thing, look, we're all geared. I mean, I have the lowest item level character in my raid group because I don't do anything for gear as long as, basically, right? As long as I'm one of the top 3 DPS, then I no longer feel pressure to get more gear for my character because in almost every case, it is an issue of the whole raid team, myself included, executing mechanics well, not getting more gear to overpower the problem. So when we go to do normal, we're not going to be doing normal of the new raid with like mythic raid gear or something.
No.
But yeah, that does mean though, between normal and heroic and maybe a little bit of dungeon dabbling, stuff like that, because people also, they think, oh wow, item level 226, that's so high. Yeah, but you're in patch 9.0.
Yeah.
A mythic plus 0 item level is going zoop in the new patch because they move everything up.
Yeah, I mean, so 226 is what you get from a Great Vault after a +2.
Yeah.
Like it is the baseline gear.
Yeah, and also remember that in the past, like, this is another thing for the old lemmings who are saying that, oh my god, but Karazhan. well, Titan Forging?
Was it? How about that?
Titan Forging was active when Karazhan came out.
Remember Titan Forging?
Yeah.
God.
Titan Forging was active on the Karazhan item level.
God, I don't miss that at all. Like,
was Titan Forging active on Operation Mechagon?
Believe so. That was 8.2, so I think so.
Which basically means if you are using the past as a way to justify a static normal raid equivalent item level, you're actually fucking stupid, and you're willfully forgetting the old gearing system and the fact that we're in a new gearing system.
Yeah,
it's just when it's that super like, I'm going to. It's so stupid.
You don't get to nitpick comparisons. If you want to compare something, compare it wholeheartedly. But the very nature of World of Warcraft and its development means, especially recently, if you compare anything to like 2 expansions ago, especially with Shadowlands, if you compare anything to BFA or like Legion in a very literal sense to guide the philosophy of the design, you're being willfully ignorant, I think. Maybe not willfully, maybe you're just ignorant and don't realize it, but it is a case of just like have a think through all of the factors. Don't just look at the ones that suit your purpose.
Yeah.
For your comment. Like
that's the thing. Now, like there are issues with Tazavesh, even if it did have the upgrades as it previously was.
Yeah.
An example, upgrading from eye level 210 to like a higher item level is, with how Valor is designed right now, very stupid.
Oh, you're actually wrong.
Yeah,
like,
you're wrong.
You're wrong to do that.
Yeah. And that is actually the weird thing. With the current Valor system, like, you are wrong if you spend Valor points early in a season before you've done a lot of your key pushing up to the higher item levels, because you only get so much Valor in a whole season. Now, that is something that people didn't keenly feel in the previous patch, because Valor points were a mid-season update with, it was uncapped, or, what did the cap start with? 6,750?
Something
Valor?
Massive. It was like, this is the cap you were supposed to have if game was out 3 months ago. Yeah. Or rather, and the other way around.
It's going to be very different in What am I saying? My head.
Different in the new season where
Yes,
you
you're
start
going to
from
log
0.
in, and it'll be 0 out of 750.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yep.
So
that's going to sting like
look,
that's going to sting like crazy, and people are going to be caught off guard by it.
It's that thing with Tazavesh. I mean, look, make Tazavesh normal. You know, your sort of lower item level. Make it like 210, or I don't know, something like that. Make the hard mode a bit higher. Let people upgrade the gear.
Yeah.
Because that's going to mean way more people will be engaging in Tazavesh.
Yeah.
And if Blizzard then think to themselves, yeah, well, you know, we don't need to do that because it'll get it into Mythic Plus in the next patch, and we don't want to tire people out of Tazavesh. Well, that shouldn't be how you design your game. Sorry. So it's just this whole thing of like, they could structure all of this stuff better and get way more gameplay out of the content that they've made. And it's just that weird thing. They spend so much money on new tile sets and amazing visuals, and then they deploy it in a way where they really, you know, they kind of hamstring their potential a little bit.
Yeah, literally wasting content. Like,
yeah.
When the game game almost needs nothing but like removing extraneous elements and adding content. And they're like, well, we'll just have all our extraneous elements actually neuter content and give us a reason to not incentivize players to play it. Like, what do you mean? Like, as much as I'd love to sit here and say, I of course will enjoy Tazavesh, so I will do it no matter what if there's no rewards. That's not how the World of Warcraft is designed. That's not how anyone plays it as well. You know, the hypothetical anyone. I'm sure some people do, but like, if I'm doing anything in World of Warcraft, if there's not a relevant player power reward, I'm just like, because that's how I've been trained.
That is how you've been trained by the game.
I'm not doing that. Get away, like.
And there are so many ways to make this whole thing just better and work.